So with that being said, so that's two. We're going to continue the package deals. We're going to do one more at the end of the night. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Ty, Marty, and Josh. If you haven't had an opportunity to hear from any of them, if you're just getting in, I hope you guys decided to stay with us. And we got a lot of awesome guest speakers coming in from for tomorrow, I should say. So let's go ahead and open with some Q&A case studies.
All right. All right, Abigail, if you could bring us all three on. Guys, what we want to do now is we want to answer any questions about anything that we've covered over the last 2 days. So what questions do you have about anything that we've covered as relates to Kindle publishing over the last 2 days? And then after that, we're going to wrap it up. We'll have a Q&A session, and then we'll go back to one last wheel of names, and then we'll bring you guys back on tomorrow. So here's how it's going to work. So if you do have a question, just simply raise your digital hand. We'll bring you on, and then we'll allow you to ask your question. So, all right, so let's start with Jake. So Jake, who's over there, I think Jake is eating. Jake, you got a question over here? All right, let's bring Jake back on.
Got some food for us.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a question. My hand was still raised from the last thing we did.
Gotcha. All right. So Jake,
Sorry about that.
not a problem. Let's bring it over to Joyce. So Joyce Guccione. Joyce, I got it right almost that time, Joyce.
You got it right. I just wanted to say thank you guys. Everything is really great. We're all pumped and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be amazing. Awesome. We've got some really cool guest speakers. We're going to be talking about marketing tomorrow. So for those of you who have content that's published already, tomorrow is going to be where you learn about marketing. And then we've got our special guest, Michael Joshua, who's going to be talking about book publishing tomorrow. He's got these 40-page children's books that he's making a killing with. So you want to see his process. It's super, super simple. And he spends less than $100 per book putting them together. All right. So that's going to be fabulous. There you go.
All right.
So let's go back to the UK and bring George on. So George has his hand up. We'll bring George back on. George, there you go. George, you let's let Abigail unmute you. There you go.
That's it. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Right. So my question is for the interstellar strategy. You managed three strategies. One was the spotlight pricing, the other one was the anchor pricing, and the other one was the premium pricing strategy. I wanted to ask you, for instance, let's say I don't have 3 series yet, but let's say I do have 3 series. Can I use my first series to be the spotlight, and then my second series to be an anchor, and my third to be the premium? Or do I, in time, move them around, and for instance, my spotlight will become anchor, and then the anchor will become premium? And how do you guys do it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So you can, it's honestly totally 100% up to you. But you can definitely just go into the order. You can start off with the spotlight, then you can go to the anchor, you can go to the premium. And that would be like what you mentioned in your example, like a total of 3 series. And you just you got the information and stuff from the very first one. And then you tested out something else, something different with more premium, because the whole goal is first, we want to get the attention, right, to your series. And then you want to start training your audience to go from the 99 cents to like the $2.99 and up, like the 70% commission. So going in order like that is perfectly fine. And you could decide, like, after you did that, you could look at the data and see which one you made the most money from. And then, I'm going to go and continue with that strategy, and I'm going to keep doing that, and, so on. It's totally up to you, though. 100% flexible.
Testing, man. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
No problem.
Right. Who else do we have here? Let's see who else has a hand up. We've got Rashawn. I see Rashawn, and then we've got Jane. Then we'll go to Jane, and then we'll go over to Tierra in Louisiana.
What's up, Rashawn?
I don't have much of a question. I just wanted to say thank you for everything again. And I kind of just wanted a picture with the 3 of you. I'm being a little selfish.
Yeah, let's take a picture.
Hey, let's throw up the year to paper, Rashawn.
I just want to let you guys know I feel slighted in that, but Rashawn, that's all right.
Rashawn, Jeremy's feeling a little short over there on this. No pun intended.
Oh, now you just, okay. I see you. I'm making this
Thank
picture a
you
meme.
No
Hey,
problem.
Jeremy's gonna splice himself into that. All right.
I could Photoshop him in later.
Definitely. All right.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
thank you, Rashawn.
Thank you, man.
Hey, we've got Jane. Let's bring on Jane over here. Jane, how are you doing this afternoon? Jane, where are you watching from? Oh, you're muted. Where are you joining from? There you go.
Okay. Yes,
Now
I'm
you're
joining from Greenville, Pennsylvania. That's in Western Pennsylvania, close to Ohio.
nice. Okay, nice. I thought you were gonna say Greenville. We got a
North
Greenville,
Carolina.
North Carolina out here also. Yeah. So there you go. Awesome.
Yes, okay. So my question is about an expression that I learned along the way over the years as I listened to, Anik and other people.
Mhm.
One thing they said was the money is in the list. And so I was thinking with all the sales that people are making and, like what, $10,000 a month and what have you, Amazon is capturing all the email addresses and so, and creating a huge database. So my
Yeah.
question is, how do we as writers capture those email addresses in order to create our own database? Where in our publications should we place something which will encourage the buyer to get in touch with us, if you see what I mean?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Marty, go ahead, knock it out.
So tomorrow we're definitely going to be going over that. So that's you definitely don't want to miss that. We're going to be talking about all of that because we all truly believe really capturing your customer, just like you mentioned, because you want to build your own database so you don't have to depend 100% on Amazon, right? And what you would do, you would create something like a lead magnet. And a lead magnet, just think of it just a free book, right? And this free book you can give in exchange for an email address. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a long book. It could just be a short story or something like that. And you're just going to use this book as an exclusive book to give to someone to sign up to your email list, 100% exclusive. And you would place that lead magnet inside of your story that you publish on Amazon and stuff like that. Or you can have it on a landing page. Just imagine like a website page where you can just drive some traffic over to, and then people will sign up and they will, give you, like, for example, have you went to like a newsletter or something, like you saw something like online, you signed up for it and then they sent you something?
Have you ever been to like KindleCashflow.com and like you've signed up, you enter your name and email address in one of those forms and then you start getting 1,000,001 emails from this guy, Ty Cohen? That's how it works.
Right. That's how it works. Exactly.
Yes, but then the issue here is, okay, that would be sent out to random email addresses, but how about to the specific people who have purchased your book? I think there are like two total groups, right?
Yep.
That one could access. There are those who buy your book through Amazon, and so you have no idea who the buyers are. All you receive is your 70% or 30% or 70%, right? Then you have the group of people who maybe people buy email lists and then are able to send them those letters in the email. So what I'm seeing are two groups or buckets of, potential database, whatever. I don't even know how to put it. Yes.
You're saying it right. You're saying exactly right. You would create two groups. And you can create a bunch of different groups. So you'll create it in your email service provider. And we're going to be talking more about that tomorrow. But you will definitely have you can have over here, we have a group that only came from Facebook. Like you're running Facebook ads or something, it only came from Facebook. So that's how you know that came from that. And then we have another group, it could only come from Amazon. Okay. And then we have another group that could only come from if they sign up over here on this landing page. And that's how you kind of keep the groups separate so you can get the data and the information. Because just like you're saying, it's very important because if you had one group and you had all those traffic streams going to that one group, then how do you know who came from what? right? And then that's
Yes.
where the confusion starts to come. So definitely you'll just be creating a group, and it's super simple to do that. It's like just a couple clicks of a button and you just create it.
Okay.
But you're on the
Thank
right
you.
track though, for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem.
And Jane, there's also ways that you can separate, you can segment your list, right? So hold on. So here's the thing. So when you're thinking about your list, I want you to think of them in two different ways. You've got your prospect list, which are people that did not buy yet.
Yes.
So, and everyone should be looking at it this way: prospects and customers. That's it. Prospects and customers. You can further segment them down after that, right? Based on what they buy or what they're interested in. But for now, the beginner way to do it is prospects and customers. So even if someone comes in and they buy your book on Amazon, you can still offer them some type of an incentive to join your customer list. So you can have something in your book that says, hey, get a freebie by submitting a copy of your receipt for the book that you purchased. And then when they send that over to you, or when they opt into your form and attach that receipt, then that automatically, this is a little bit more advanced, right? But it opts them into your customer list now. So now you've got this customer list and you have a prospect list. Which one do you think is going to be the most valuable?
The customer. Well, both of them valuable. Maybe the customer list.
Which one? No, see, the key is the chain. Which one is going to? My wife tells me that listening is key. So that's what she tells me. So which one is going to be the most profitable? Customer list or the prospect list? Most profitable in most cases.
I don't know what to say, so I'll let you answer that.
No, I want you to guess. Because remember, we talked about building up confidence, right? So guess.
Yes. Okay. I would probably go say the customer list because they're buying already. And so they're more likely to buy again or tell other people about what they purchased.
What do you now? I want you to look at the chat box. So now you guys in the chat box, which one do you think is more valuable? Your customer list or your prospect list? Prospects being people who have not purchased yet. Customers being people who have purchased from you. Look at the chat box, Jane.
Okay.
So you got it. Boom. Head on. Customer list.
Oh.
Right. So you got it. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Beautiful. And great question. All right. So thank you for having the courage to come on and ask your question. Let's move over to Chet in Torrance, California. Actually, we had Tierra in Louisiana first. Let's bring on Tierra in Louisiana. Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. I just had a question about the outsourcing. How would you outsource, or I guess set a job posting for like if you're trying to do a series? Because I know you said before to like do the report instead of doing like it's for actual ebook. So I was just wondering how you would do that.
Yeah, so when I do that personally, and I'm actually going to talk about that tomorrow too, and I'm going to give you the templates for series. So a 3-book series, 5-book series, 7-book series, whatever you want, right? 10-book. I just let them know I'm looking for the same writer to write a series for me. So they're going to start with that prequel for me, then they're going to go through book 1, book 2, book 3, because I want everything to flow. Right, just as I think it was Marty or Josh, one of these guys talking about earlier, having a television series where it flows and then there's a cliffhanger from book to book to book to book. Right, so I let the writer know up front because that's what you want. You don't want to have a different writer for each book in your series.
Yeah.
Right, you want that congruency to be there. So tomorrow I will definitely be sharing the project post with you. That makes it easier to go in and find a writer that can write a series for you.
Okay.
Amazing question. All right. Tira, stop looking so serious. Smile. You're on Kindle Castro Live. There you go. Awesome. Perfect. All right. What else we got? We got Chet. Now we got Chet in Torrance, California. Chet, what do you got?
Okay, fine. I've got this book here.
Oh. Hey, Chad, I'm convinced that you're using Kindle Castro Live to promote your book. This guy's a marketing genius. Right?
I'm going to ask you about marketing this book.
I'm on to you, Chad. I'm on to you.
Because one of the things that I think, and I don't want to say this too loud since my wife is here, it is a religious book, and it's about answering prayers.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think religious books like this really sell that much.
You know what?
My personal opinion. So you guys going to get into the marketing area, so you can let me know as to how we can really move this along, because she has dropped this in my lap and said, hey, I've done the books. You take care of getting them sold. Okay.
Well, let me ask you a question. Are you afraid of your wife, Chat?
No, I'm not afraid of my wife. But guess what, Ty? I've been married for 64 years, and I've learned.
Wow.
You pick your battles, right?
I have learned who is the boss. Okay.
There you go. There you go.
And I know how to say those 3 magic words, or 2. Yes, dear.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be "you're right." Those are my 2 magic words. You're right. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, right. She's talking to Black Superman. No, of course she's not right.
It's called whatever you say, yes, dear. I'll take care of it.
There you go.
Sometimes I don't do such a good job of taking care of it. And so she says, like, hey, I said, well, look, I'm a man and you gave it to me, and we are not that good at actually taking care of things. You give it to a woman and she'll take care of it and do a good job. So
you give it to a woman,
answer.
right? You give it to a woman, or you give it to the busiest person that you know, and either one of them will get it done. And if you give it to the busiest woman that you know, they'll definitely get it right.
Exactly.
Right? So now,
exactly.
Chet,
Yes.
64 years, man, you definitely need to know something. You definitely have something right. Do religious books sell? Of course. What's the #1 best-selling book on the planet to date? It's the Bible, right? There's no book that has ever sold. Now, here, we're not going to say, okay, well, God is the author, he's cheating and all of this other stuff. No excuses, all right? Stop giving someone else more credit than you're giving yourself, Chet. The other thing is, like Conversations with God, right? That's a book that has sold a ton. I know the author actually of that. That's a book that has sold a ton of copies. There's other books that are religious-based that sell really well. The thing is, you have to get it in front of the audience. It's not the content. Anything can sell. It's the marketing that goes behind it. That's why you see some crap that's out there that sells, and you're like, why does everyone have that? Kanye West has there's slides or something that are called Yeezy slides that are the ugliest thing ever, that are selling like hotcakes to the point he's almost a billionaire. It's because of the marketing. The design is not beautiful. It's the craziest thing ever. But the marketing is there. So that's what you guys have to get great at. That's why I said earlier, like, stop thinking like an author, stop thinking like a writer, start thinking like an entrepreneur or a marketer, because you've got the writing down pat. You've got the finished product there. Now it's time to take off that hat, put on the marketing hat, and that's where you focus on, right? So there's
one thing I wanted to say. When it comes to doing research and this whole Amazon Kindle business, you don't want to just think about it. Like you said, I think you're not really sure if it's going to make sales or not, if it's in demand or not. And that's when we don't really have to think about it at all. We actually just go